I am Vaibhav, negotiator of Team Sucheta Kriplani. I am from Korba, Chhattisgarh. Our topic is Fishbone Diagram. And here are my other teammates.
Hello everyone, my name is Shivam Sinha. I am from Dhanbad, Jharkhand.
Hello everyone, my name is Somesh Sahu and I am from Balod, Chhattisgarh.
Hello everyone, my name is Riddhi Goyal and I am from Kota, Rajasthan.
Hello, I am Yadnesh Hirway. I am pursuing BTech in Civil Engineering as a first year student from NIT Raipur. I am from Bhilai, Chhattisgarh, and I am a member of Team Sucheta Kriplani.
Hello everyone, my name is Raghav Dubey. I am a student of Civil Engineering second semester at NIT Raipur and I am a team member of Team Sucheta Kriplani.
What is a fishbone diagram? A fishbone diagram, also known as cause and effect diagram or an Ishikawa diagram, is a helpful tool for identifying the root cause of problem. It allows you to list all the potential causes that may be contributing to the effect you are currently experiencing. This visual aid, which takes the shape of a fishbone, hence its name, is commonly used during brainstorming session. To create a fishbone diagram, you organize the possible causes on the left side categorized under different cause categories. These make up the bones of the fish. This structure provides a quick, easy way to visualize the various causes associated with the effect. When to use a fishbone diagram? Reveal bottlenecks or the areas of weakness in a business process, avoid reoccurring issues or employment burnouts. Ensure that any corrective actions which resolve the issue, identify the possible causes of a problem, develop a product that addresses issue within current market of offering. There are 4 kinds of fishbone diagram. They are Type 1. The simple fishbone diagram. The standard fishbone diagram is the most basic and widely used version of this problem solving tool. Type 2. The 4S fishbone diagram. The 4S fishbone diagram is a streamlined version of traditional fishbone diagram. Type 3. The 8P fishbone diagram. The 8P fishbone diagram, also known as marketing fishbone diagram, is widely used in service industries, business operation, etc. Type 4. 6M fishbone diagram. The 6M fishbone diagram is one of the most widely used types of fishbone diagram. Elements of fishbone diagram. The components of fishbone diagram includes problem statement. It defines the issue or the problem that needs to be addressed. Main bone. It represents the main categories or factors which contribute to the problem. Commonly used categories include people, processes, environment, equipment, and materials. Secondary bone. It branches off from the main bone and represents subcategories of specific factors within each main category. Cause categories. These are the factors or cause within each secondary bone. They represent the specific aspect contributing to the problem. Cause and effect relationship arrows. These connect the cause categories to the secondary and main bones, indicating the relationship between each cause and the overwhelming problem. Analysis. The diagram is used to identify potential causes and their relationship to the problem. It facilitates analysis and problem solving. Finally, solutions. Once causes are identified, develop solutions to address each cause that aim to resolve the overall problem. Thank you.
Who invented fishbone diagram? Dr. Kaoru Ishikawa, a Japanese quality control expert, is credited with inventing the fishbone diagram to help employees avoid solutions that merely address the symptoms of a much larger problem. Ishikawa pioneered the diagram in the 1960s at the Kawasaki shipyards. As a part of a quality management process operation, Fishbone diagrams are considered one of 7 basic quality tools and are used in the analyze phase of the Six Sigma DMAIC define, measure, analyze, improve, control approach to problem solving. Ishikawa introduced the 6 M's as generic labels to describe the core categories, but he also encouraged creativity in naming these categories to communicate more clearly to those who would be using the diagram. The 6 M's stand for: first, materials. They include parts, ingredients, supplies, etc. Second, machinery. They are production related equipment, materials handling equipment, software. This may need to be a separate category for some industries, organizations solving. Third, methods. They include procedures, techniques, processes, regulations, and this may need to be a separate category for government and heavily regulated industries. Fourth, measurement. It includes the key indicators, measurement devices, key data capture or collection points. Fifth, manpower. People and human resources with their associated training, skills, competences. Then sixth, mother nature, environment and externalities are less commonly included but useful for contemporary diagrams is the seventh. Money at the last, operating expenses and capital investments. Now, how to make a fishbone diagram? To make a fishbone diagram, follow the following steps. First, define the problem. Clearly identify the problem or issue that needs to be addressed. Second, determine categories. Decide on the main categories of factors that could contribute to the problems. Third, draw the main bone. Draw a horizontal line that represents the backbone of the fish with the problem statement at the head of the fish. Fourth, add major branches. Extend diagonal lines from the main bone to represent the major categories and label each branch accordingly. Fifth, identify the subcategories. If necessary, add secondary branches of the major categories to provide further detail. Sixth, brainstorm causes. Brainstorm causes within each category and subcategory. Write them as branches extending from the appropriate category lines. Seventh, analyze causes. Evaluate and prioritize the identified causes to determine their significance. Implement solutions based on the analysis. Develop and implement solutions to address the root causes identified on the fishbone diagram. Last but not the least, review and refine. Continuously review and refine the fishbone diagram as new information becomes available or as the problem solving process progresses.
For identifying a fishbone diagram, I would suggest some few steps. First, provide a problem statement. A problem statement is the effect or problem you are investigating. It is placed in a box with an arrow pointing to it on the right side of a flipchart page as if forming the head of a fish. Everyone on the team agrees on the definition of the problem. Second, define major cause categories. Form a skeleton of a fishbone diagram with the major cause categories which you connect to the backbone. To find these categories, have a brainstorming session with your team. The number of categories you create will vary according to your industry and the problem you are solving. For example, if you work in manufacturing, your major cause categories may be staff, people, equipment and machinery, process and procedures, materials, environmental factors, and measuring procedures. Third, choosing the right types of fishbone diagrams. When selecting the right type of fishbone diagram for a problem, it's important to consider the nature of the issue you are addressing and the industry you are in. Different types of fishbone diagrams are better suited to specific types of. Fourth, scope of the problem. If you are looking for a general overview of causes, a standard fishbone diagram may be sufficient. Complexity of the. Fifth, problem. If the problem has multiple contributing factors, a more detailed diagram may be necessary. Data availability and team involvement should be considered. Let me further explain the importance of a fishbone diagram in detail. Fishbone diagrams are often seen as a problem-solving tool, but they can also function as an excellent visual aid when issues need to be explained and coordinated with the large teams. Second, visual problem solving. A fishbone diagram's key utility comes from the fact that it is a visual versus being a list or a spreadsheet. This allows one to expand the diagram to as many attributes and root causes as needed. Third, real problem solving over treating symptoms. Often, brainstorming sessions or company meetings may be spent trying to deal with symptoms of a problem, such as lower sales, number or employee attrition, without trying to get the root of the problems. Fourth and last, easily presentable visual aid. One of the key issues with the trying to solve a problem where the root cause or causes have been identified is explaining this complex structure to company leaders and getting their cooperation. So overall, a fishbone diagram layout is a great alternative visual tool. Thank you.
Tips for effective use of fishbone diagram. Some tips for the effective use of the fishbone diagram are as follows. First, clearly define the problem. Second, select relevant categories. Third, encourage collaborative brainstorming. Fourth, keep the diagram visually clear. Fifth, prioritize causes based on impact. Sixth, support analysis with data. Seventh, continuously review with refine. Eighth, implement actionable solution. Ninth, monitor effectiveness over time. 10th and last, use a reference tool for ongoing improvement. Advantages of fishbone diagram. They include provides a clear and visual representation of the various potential causes and their relationships to the problem. Second, provide a systematic and structured approach to analyze root causes. Encourage collaboration among team members by involving them in the brainstorming process and results in shared understanding of the problem. Fourth, encourage database decision by using evidence and data to support the identification and analysis of causes. Fifth, enhances communications among team members by providing a visual common tool for discussing and understanding the problem. Some other tactics to identify the causes include: first, brainstorm causes. Now that you have your own major categories in place, take time to brainstorm possible causes. You can use the categories to generate ideas or list as many causes as you can. Second, category causes. Go through your list of causes and add them to the appropriate category on your diagram. These causes become the ribs on your diagram, joining categories to the backbone. Third, discover sub-causes. For each cause you identify, go deeper by asking effective questions such as why does this happen? This causes layer of branches or bones in the diagram. Fourth, identify root causes. The final step is to identify the root cause of the effect or problem in the problem statement. To do this, look at the causes appear most often across multiple categories. The main purpose of the fishbone diagram is root cause analysis. Root cause analysis is intended to reveal key relationships among various variables and the possible causes, provide additional insight into process behavior. It shows high-level causes that lead to the problem encountered by providing a snapshot in the current situation. At a cause level, a cause is whatever is responsible or explain an effect, a factor whose presence make a critical difference to occurrence of an outcome.
Applications or uses of fishbone diagram. It is typically used for root cause analysis. A fishbone diagram combines the practice of brainstorming with a type of mind map template. It should be efficient as a test case technique to determine cause and effect. A fishbone diagram is useful in project management, product development, and troubleshooting. Typically used to focus a conversation around a problem. Fishbone diagrams are used in a wide range of industries. For instance, healthcare, education, and service industries use fishbone diagrams for various purposes, such as process improvement, and addressing customer service issues. After the group has brainstormed on all possible causes for a problem, the facilitator helps the group to rate the potential causes according to their level of importance and diagram a hierarchy. The name comes from the diagram's design, which looks like a fish's skeleton. Fishbone diagrams are typically worked right to left, with each large bone of the fish branching out to include smaller bones, each containing more detail. Why use a fishbone diagram? The fishbone diagram is a flexible tool that can be used for a range of applications. Here's why it's so useful. First of all, easy visualization. One of the primary advantages of using a fishbone diagram is its ability to simplify complex problems. With all potential causes visually represented in one place, it becomes easier to analyze and discuss the issues. Second, team collaboration. Fishbone diagram is an excellent tool for brainstorming sessions. It encourages team members to think critically and contributes to a shared understanding of the problem. Its collaborative design allowing for collective intelligence of the group to shine. And last but not the least is root cause analysis. Identifying symptoms of a problem is one thing, uncovering the root cause is another. The fishbone diagram excels at this by forcing you to dig deep into various contributing factors. By isolating these causes, you are better positioned to find a lasting solution. By using fishbone diagram, you're not just addressing a problem with a short-term fix. You're conducting a thorough investigation to eliminate the issues from the root up.
I would like to give an example for fishbone diagram. Your fishbone diagram begins with the main problem or main cause. In a few words or a short sentence, this is the head of the fish. This could look something like a growth stunt in the customer base, reputational or brand image issues, supply chain issues, or lack of inclusion and diversity. The fish's backbone is then shown as a long arrow leaving the head. The first bones will be drawn immediately from the backbone through tiny right to left diagonal lines. These main branches are the root or most likely reasons for your problem. Following the examples above, these reasons might include lack of effective marketing, history of the company's public actions, poor communication between suppliers, etc. Create smaller bones that branch off from the initial backbone. Write the different categories of causes as a heading for each smaller bone. Some of these smaller bones can be named as methods, machines or equipments, people or employees, information, raw materials, etc. It's important to brainstorm all the possible causes of the problem and write them down in the appropriate category. You can have sub causes that branch off the main causes to create deeper levels. When complete, your fishbone diagram should provide you with a broad understanding of the potential underlying causes of the problem you are experiencing, enabling you to rank them or decide which may be the most likely. Common mistakes and tips: how to make the most of your fishbone diagram. First, overlooking minor causes. While it's easy to focus on the most glaring issues, minor causes can accumulate and have a significant impact. Tip: don't disregard a cause just because it seems minor. Sometimes fixing smaller issues can lead to big improvements. Second, ignoring data. It's tempting to solely rely on brainstorming and intuition, but data should be your guiding star. Tip: Use matrices and KPIs to support or refute the causes you have identified. This adds credibility to your findings and helps you prioritize effectively. Third, stopping at symptoms. Identifying symptoms is just the first step. Your ultimate goal should be to uncover the root causes.